What's up everybody, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so we got a good video. So we're gonna be installing all the cold side piping on the car, final install. So everything was mocked up, some things happened, I couldn't finish it. So this video is going to be finishing up all the cold side piping, making brackets for the intercooler, and all that good stuff so we can get this thing just one step closer. And then after that, really just, I think I'll run vacuum lines, get the Mega Squirt set up for boost, and install the boost controller. And that's like kind of all there is left. So wow, we're really close. So we're gonna get this stuff installed and everything's mocked up. I have the intercooler placed where I want it to be, right in the center of the core support. So check it out, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. All right, so if you watched the last video, we fabbed up that little elbow right there, and then the piping is all mocked up. So right now the intercooler is basically where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the piping back off, leave the intercooler where it is, and then what I'm gonna do is lift it up and down and make it actually flush with the core support, because I am going to be putting brackets at the bottom of it too, so everything is in line and works and has good ground clearances and out of the way of the bumper. And there's a couple pipes I want to heat shield, just one really. The pipe that comes right off of the turbo is right next to the hot side piping. It like has barely any room, so I do want to put some heat wrap on that thing. All right, since I am down here, I thought I would show you guys what's going on. So it's dark, but so when this thing is installed, this is how it sits. So there's only like an inch between the two pipes. And so I'm gonna put some heat shielding on this cold side pipe, and that should help the situation in there because it's just so close. All right, so even though this isn't this hardcore fabrication thing, this is the first real, I don't know, I guess bending and maneuvering, massaging metal is the first thing I've ever done with it. So I'm trying to take everything I can and do extra and make sure I have extra stuff, because in case I mess up, I can do it again. So let me show you what I got going on and what I think is gonna work the best. So what I did is I measured from here to the weld, and it was 4¼ inches. The same thing from here. From here to the weld, 4¼ inches, got it in the middle. It works. And then at the bottom, I am just above this core support, so I can mount the metal pieces that I want from here to the core support, and it'll keep it from swaying around. So that's what I got going on so far, and it looks like it's gonna work pretty well. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a piece of my iron and give myself like a couple inches here, so when I bend my tab I can have room to slide it back and forth and like measure it when it's made. And then I'm gonna measure from this mounting point up to here, and I'll probably give myself extra again, and I can cut it off later if it doesn't work. But so that's what I'm gonna do. That was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. So this is my piece. It's like a weird looking L, right? So let me show you what it looks like on the car, and I kind of got it first try. So I'm just gonna recreate this piece, because I'm gonna cut, like shave some stuff on it, like an inch off of here and then an inch off the bottom too, but I think this is it. Check it out. All right, so it sits just like that, and the bends all work when the intercooler is pushed back as far as it can get. So I mean, we're looking good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drill some holes, mount it up. If this side works, we'll just do the exact same thing for the other side. So, I mean, let's give it it went way faster than I thought it was gonna be, to be totally honest with everybody. So let's shave some excess, drill some holes, and see if it worked. The first bracket is completed, and I'm really proud. I didn't take you guys through this one because I figured I'll learn how to do it first, and then I'll show you what I did, because it came out really good. Like I said, I showed you that little tidbit of it. Like the bends were nice. I actually massaged the bends a little bit more because it wasn't in the perfect spot, and I'll probably have to massage them again later. But yeah, I mean, okay, so before I show you, you ever like are working on the car and then you just go and you see blood on stuff and you're like, oh, that's weird, what's this red stuff? And then you look and your like knuckle is torn apart. Yeah, I got blood all over my intercooler. Let me show you what I did. So there it is, there's the bracket. Yeah, right where I want it. It's not locked down. I just drilled a hole into the top of the core support and put a bolt and a nut on there, and it worked out pretty good. So everything's level, and I'm honestly just gonna recreate the same thing I did over there. So I'm just gonna mark that thing up and bend and slap and cut and do whatever. So let's get this thing started and I'll show you what I actually did to make it happen. Okay, so here is my bracket. There's a tiny bend here, and then there's this big, more than a 90, it's like the 120 or something. So this is my bracket. So what I did is I got my steel and I cut 11 inches off, and I did have to buzz some off later on, but so I'm just gonna do the same thing, same exact thing, and then I'll buzz everything off later. But so this is my 11-inch mark, so I'm gonna cut this real quick, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay, so then what I did is, so I have 11 inches now, and I came down 3 inches. There, then I took my square, and so here is the fun part. So then I put it in the vise, and I tightened it down right on that line. Like I said, tightened it down a lot. And then I got my sledge, my 4-pound, I think. Yeah, 4-pound sledge, and just bopped it. That's about it. And actually, that's perfect. All right, and so when I was on the car, I actually, where this meets the top of the core support, it needed to bend a little bit to put the intercooler right in the spot I wanted it to be. So what I did is I marked it, see my little mark, and then I bent it just a touch. You can see it's not a whole lot, but it is a little bit. So we're gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna use this as a reference. So I lined them up, and then couple bonks. Oh, it's like perfect. Okay, and so now we have our bracket. So I'm gonna go put it onto the intercooler and see where I need to put my holes. All right, so basically the holes are gonna go in the same spot, but just to be on the side of caution, I just want to check all this stuff first. All right, so after measuring and looking at everything, literally 2 brackets, this can just be a mirror image of it. So I'm just same bolt holes, same everything. All right, so since these are literally just going to be in the same spot, we're just going to mark them. Okay, so now that our holes are drilled, we're gonna test fit it and then drill our hole up top if it all works the way we want it to. And or bend this thing a little bit more, because you never know, I just test fit the bumper to make sure nothing hit. I have tons of room and it looks so cool. So here, check it out. All right, so here's my tab. I shortened this one earlier like you saw, and then this guy right here. All right, so down here, there it is. So I'd say a successful first night on the not so good knee. I went farther than I thought I was going to, actually. I limped around a lot, but we made it. So tomorrow we're gonna get the bottom brackets made and bolt everything down, paint everything, bolt it up, get this cold side done. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. Time to get started on this thing again. And so I took the bumper cover back off so I can give you guys a good look at what these brackets look like. And so now what we're gonna do is, well, here, just take a look at the brackets first. All right, so here are my brackets, and so there needs to be some trimming involved, so I'm gonna do something with that before I call it all said and done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to wrap this pipe just like I was saying yesterday with a little bit of heat wrap. I actually marked it. See, there's my black dot and my black dot. So I'm just gonna wrap that much of it just like that. There's enough heat wrap on it. So just enough to keep it away from the hot side. All right, so I just fitted up all the piping and it's looking pretty spicy. So one of the things I've noticed on this kit is that the pipe that goes to the intake on the passenger side of the intercooler always fits funny, and a lot of guys cut inside of the fender well or the car to make this work a little bit better. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So you can see right there that the intercooler, that's about where it's going to sit. Actually, it's going to sit a little bit back, and this is where this pipe wants to be. It wants to be pushed out that far, and that's just not going to work for us. I don't like it. I'm not going to use it like that. So I measured from center to center of the pipes, and I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off so it actually tugs it into the right direction, and then this will fit quite a lot better. All right, so fast forward a little bit. I did a lot more than I thought I was going to get done, and it's looking so good. So I finished the bottom brackets, and I'll tell you what I did, and then I finished I cut 2 inches off that pipe, and everything fits so good now. So the only thing I want to do is test fit the bumper, and then I will pull all of the brackets off. I'll bevel the edges, make them look pretty, make sure all my pipe's nice, and then we'll tighten everything down and call it a day, because holy crap, I'm pumped. So let me show you what I did, what I got done, and then we'll test fit the bumper. All right, so starting off with this one pipe that goes up into your intake, I cut 2 inches off of it. I said 1.5 inches, but I ended up doing 2 inches, and it fits so much better. It's tight up against the frame. It doesn't make any contact down here, and actually when everything is tightened down, it'll probably sit up a little bit more and be totally away from everything. So that just came out so good. All right, and then so we come down here, and like I said, none of this is tightened up, but I made these just straight brackets back to the core support, and I mean, these are perfect. It keeps the intercooler right in place. It's so good. Everything is looking good. So what I'm gonna do now is test fit the bumper, and I guess we'll find out. All right. Oh my God, butter. It just fits like a glove. It's perfect. So let me show you. I have clearance everywhere. All right, so first off, we'll start up here, and this nothing hits, so you can see I can put it up and it all fits perfect. All right, so down here you can see I got like a good 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, no, it's like 1 inch of room between this guy and the pipe, so that totally fine, doesn't hit at all, looks good. So let's go over to the other side. All right, and this side, just barely touching, like I can just pull it away. It is like almost not touching at all, so we probably will just take a tiny bit off here just so it's not clapping around. All right, so one of the things I did is I made these brackets specifically so I could mount the bumper onto it. So what I'm gonna do is when I pull these off, I'm gonna push it up onto there and then drill a hole through here, and then the bumper cover will be attached to the intercooler, and it'll just be good and it'll hang up, and that's that. But that'll be for another video. That won't be on this one. So we have room, everything fits, it's all fat and happy. So what I am going to do is pull off all my brackets I just made, bevel the edges, make 45s on them, make them look pretty, paint them, and then put everything back together and put all the clamps on the intercooler piping, and we'll call it good for now. Because, and I am going to leave the bumper cover off for this video because when I am wiring my boost solenoid or my boost controller, it's electronic, so I'm going to utilize some of in the fender so there's not more wires in my engine bay. So that is one of the things I will be doing. So I'm not going to totally install this yet. That'll be on the next video, but all this cold side is getting done tonight. So I will see you guys in a little bit. What's up, everybody? So I actually it's the next day. It had to take a break, my knee got sore, so here we are. But I got everything installed. So here, take a tour of it and I'll show you what everything looks like now that's all done. It looks cool. So nothing's really has changed, except I got all the clamps on, and all the brackets are painted, they're trimmed up, so it's all good to go. All of the bolts have lock washers on them, so it won't come apart at any point. All right, so that's it. I mean, that was like the hardest part. That was the last hard thing to do. Now everything's like just little simple. There's only a couple things we got to do, and that'll be in the next video. So in the next video, we're going to get the electronic boost controller wired up, and then we're going to run vacuum to the wastegate and the blow off valve. That's it, and then we'll give it a first start. So we'll start this thing up next week and get a. We won't rip it because I don't think the fuel system will support it, but we will give it a little bit of a drive and go around, see how it does. So that'll be on the next video. I'm real excited for it, so I'll see you guys then. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment. Everybody that's been bearing with me through all this stupid knee stuff, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.